Well, hey, everybody. MonkeyPuzzle here. And it's time for episode 50 of Exploring Ragnarok. That's right. Been on this map for 50 episodes, and it just keeps getting better. And got so many more in me here. Not even getting tired of it yet. This is really the only map that I want to play right now, except maybe Aberration. But we won't talk about that since it just got delayed again. But things happen. I'll wait as long as it takes for them to get it right. And hopefully when they release it, it will be working and right. So I'm over here in our desert cliffside village build, and it is coming along. Today, I want to work on my base, on the platform that I'm going to be building on here. And so I think that's a very fitting thing to do for my 50th episode here, because this is just a really cool setup here with the platforms that snap into the cliffs, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm going to get to that in just a second. Let me just recap where we've been, what we've been doing here. So initially, I went ahead and fenced off this area to sort of make it safe from all the predators out there so we could park some dinos in there. Made a little bridge between these twin platforms. And then this is a community crafting center that I made in the very last episode for folks to come and use the dinos and the chem bench to craft their adobe for their builds and just help people get going, because it's a pretty big difference to have a chem bench rather than a bunch of mortars and pestles. So it's faster, and you get a bonus, like a 20% bonus too. Someone brought some sheep over there. And let me see, over here in this complex, we've got Beefun and Rimtus and Kimmy, and there's Billy Bob up there. And they're all pretty much done, almost. Maybe have a few finishing touches. I'm not going to fully show off everybody's bases right now because I'd rather do that with them. I don't want to spoil their things, but we're all in the village, and so I think it's fair to just do a quick flyby here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So much stuff, so much detail. It's really beautiful. Little staircases going down the walls. Kimmy's just finishing her bakery here, so we'll have to come in the episode and get some cupcakes. And then Billy Bob is up here. He's got a whole complex in there too. It's actually very complicated and maze-like in there, and he's got different themes. He's got a schoolroom going on, a couple different buildings in one. We'll get into that. You can tell a little bit, hopefully not too much, that the frame rate is definitely getting impacted because this game is not optimized for this much building all in one place. But hopefully we'll stick with it. I'm still in epic settings. I can still go down to high and turn that down, but I'm trying not to because I really want to keep all the textures going. Oh, and I guess I'm out of stamina. I'll be right back. Okay. Got the moth all recharged. And let's take a look at what else has been done here. Up here, a community fellow named Mikey, I guess he didn't find a platform, even though we did find some places for some more snap points in there. But you'd have to make the platforms, and there's some more snap point places like over there and someplace over here and a couple out that way. But let me see, Mikey is making a tower, apparently. And then over here is Crackers. She is making an adoption center for shoulder pets. So I guess each one of these little areas on the outside is going to be a different kind of shoulder pet. Come here and adopt them. We'll tour that when she's available to give us a tour. And then let me just get quickly over to the other side here. I'm going to skip just right over there. Because over here, BoringLP has been making his base. So he's got a little tower thing going on too. And it's looking very cool. Got some nice windows to check out the view. He actually had to repair from getting torn up by a rock golem that pawned his house. So he was a good sport about that and recovered. Over here, Stevie Lad, I forget his birth date that's on there. Stevie Lad, I forget your number, man. He is building, this is the style that I used originally for the treehouse with the foundations and the pillars. So he's doing it old school style without the S plus triangle so far. We'll see how far he takes that. Up here, a fellow named Cool Nerd has still just getting going. We got some rain coming, but oh well, I'm not going to stop recording for that. And then over here, we've got Uramanden. He's got a very functional base going on, if very square. Gotta tease you about that, man. And we're also teasing him about being very thirsty when he built this, apparently. But very nice base. And, oh, something's going on here. I don't know who this is, but we'll find it out. And then Arahli is still going to get going over here. There's a couple more snap points, too, that we've discovered on here. So he could actually put 3 platforms all the way around here that are all on the same level and actually expand that out. Ooh, and it got a little frozen there for a second. And then beyond here a bit, over there, not rendering in yet, there's a platform that Karmic Coffee is going to build on, but he hasn't done it yet. And there are snap points for a couple more platforms out that way, too. So that's what's happened so far. So folks are building, and the village is shaping up, but it's still got a ways to go, but it's come a long ways. It's definitely happening. So I'm going to start here by covering my platform with foundations, and I'm going to lower them some so that they are differentiated from this one right here, which is technically still part of the community crafting station right here. And no, oh, this thing actually stops the rain. Oh, that's cool. That's better than it used to be. I didn't think this thing would actually stop the rain, but it does. So it does have a purpose. I didn't make it just to look nice. So, which is what I thought I was doing. So I've gone ahead and I placed the first foundation here, got it lined up, did that little finicky part on my own. But basically, I just go into K mode and to kind of take a look at it and go back to adjust it and just get it so when I go back and forth this way, it stays on these lines. So I get it leveled or oriented in that direction, and that when I go this way, it stays even with the front, and that's how I know it's square. And then the way that the S Plus parts work on here, because this is the S Plus foundation, and I'm going to use the triangles again on here just to make it easy on myself, and just because I like how you don't have to overlap them that way, and that makes it much better too, is that if you go 3 across with the squares, then you have to go 4 across with the triangles. And I actually forgot to grab these, or I didn't forget, they're just going to be too heavy for the moss. So let's get some foundations here. Ooh, and I'm a little heavy, but we'll be putting them down. Very heavy. Just want to show you. So if those were 3 across like that, then the triangle ones would come next. Ooh, I'm going to have to take something off. And you can see, let's see if we can do it in K, that I've got the square foundation sticking out just a little bit. And then when you come across with the triangles, they stick out a little bit less. I keep wanting to show my knees there. But I've got so the point is you have to stick the square ones out just a little bit so that the triangle ones aren't recessed inside the platform. And that's just a little trick with that. But I'm not going to leave it like this. I am going to lower it a little bit. I am going to lose some weight too. Be right back. There we go. That's a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to lower it, and you guys probably know how to lower things already. I'm going to do it real quick if you don't. The way I've been doing it is just snapping a pillar off of the foundation, and to do this, the pillars have to be vanilla. So then I can go ahead and take these off, and the orientation will be saved by that pillar. And then if I just do the closer snap points, there's 2 snap points, right? There's going to be the half point and the full point, and the half point is just incrementally shorter. And since I'm using the vanilla ones, I got to use the S Plus demo gun to pick them up, so I don't have to demo them. You could just demo them too. And, you know, this would work, of course, with completely vanilla foundations. But I got to go back and forth. I always forget exactly how many times. I think it's at least 3 times. And put the gun away each time. And yeah, so that's not down yet. Put that away and come down one more time. And, well, actually 2 more times, because now we're going to pick that one up. And do that. So let's see if that is low enough for my liking here. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Oh, except I'm off a half space. Was not paying attention. And so that will make it even a little bit lower out there, which I actually like even better. So I think that's where it's going to be. And, oh, cool. This is high enough, too, that I can actually see it. Over there, I lowered them so much that if you looked at them, you saw the platform. So that would make it actually much easier. I won't have to swing from below like Tarzan with my grapple in order to paint it. So from here now, let's see, we can take this off now. I'm going to just go ahead and place them out. So I'm going to just go ahead and put 3 square foundations across like that. And then I'm hoping I'm just going to be able to place these under all my junk here, because otherwise I'd have to move it all first. Let's see, I want that one. Yeah. With no collision, that should be fine. And even though that's 7 triangle foundations, that's still just 4 across the front. And then I should be able to come in here. Ugh. If I can get up here. Yeah, and then just keep coming across with these. So then, after I get the whole foundation down, I'm going to go ahead and move this stuff back in this way and figure out how I'm going to arrange it. But now I've got 2 choices for how I do this. I could either keep coming back with the squares like that, and then just make this part all triangles, also, which would give you a look like this one. You got squares and then the little triangle wedgy thing in there. But that's not actually how I'm going to do it. So, and I showed this before in the last one, but, you know, I try to make these always somewhat of a tutorial. And this gun will not pick up platforms, so you don't have to worry about that. Still makes me nervous even showing you guys that. What I'm going to do is alternate squares and triangles, because I think that just gives it a more complex pattern that I like a lot. So I'm gonna have that little row of triangles, and then over here after the triangles would be a row of squares, and so on. So this will then be squares again, and then triangles again. Oop. Come on. There we go. And that. And then that. And that will take us all the way back. And the finished pattern will look like it does here on the floor of the crafting area. Let's see if we can get a good look at that. And it's just a nice little complex pattern. It looks really complicated, but it's not. You know, because I just showed you the pattern for doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this all in on my own. And I'm going to move my stuff across. And then we'll start thinking about walls and stuff. So I'll see you in a minute when I got that done. Well, I got that done, and it looks real cool. But now that I've done it, I've realized that I've kind of messed myself up, because aren't straight lines going to the center with this method. And it might look cool having a really jagged wall, but I think I want those straight wedge lines to help divide this space up. So I'm going to redo it with the other method, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I shifted that, and now that's what it looks like. You still do get a little hexagon in the middle there, so that's kind of cool. And then what this will allow me to do is have a straight line where I want to partition it off right here. I want to put a Adobe Dino Gate right here, and it's lovely how they snap to the foundations with S+. Apparently S+ is now going to be an official part of ARK, they announced today on their Twitch stream. So I'm sure it won't have some of the more OP features like the nanny and the gardener and all that. But, and it's, who knows if it's going to have the pole feature or not. But we're going to get a lot of these snap points. We're going to get triangle foundations and roof pieces and maybe the metal glass and who knows. But that's very cool. So anyway, but I digress. So yeah, that's going to be one part of it right there. So that's going to be like a little courtyard. That's part of my place out here. And then this will be the interior. And then basically I'm going to try to repeat the same thing on the other side over there. And then this will be the middle. And we'll go from there. So I got to rearrange my stuff, get it out of the way, put it in the middle against this little rock pillar. And then I shall return. Alright, so I got all my stuff and my crafting stations and everything all rearranged against the back there. So that clears up the front for some stuff. So let's do that. So I've been thinking about it. I'm kind of inventing this as I go, but I know I want to really take advantage of the view here and to really be able to check out the canyon. So for that, I need a balcony. And to really see stuff well, I need a glass balcony. So we're going to project off the front here, at least off of this middle point. So I'm going to use the S Plus glass ceilings for that. And then I could go ahead with square ones out, but then we'll just have a square point coming out. And I don't think that will look as good. So instead, I'm going to use the triangles like that. And it won't project out quite as far that way, but I think it's a better look. And so now we've got sort of a spaceship going on already. I like this shape a lot, and I'm tempted to leave it just like that. These will allow me to look down and see what's going on down here. I think I'm going to leave the frames because, you know, you can change the models and eliminate some of these cross beams. But I think I want all the structure that I've got out here just to give a sense of trust in it when you step out on it. I might even tint these a little bit just so you can tell there's something there. But I kind of like the transparency too. I mean, when we do this, we could take it up to, let's say we take the opacity up to like, I don't know, 0.2. And let's update that. And that makes it a little bit foggy. And so you know you're stepping on something, which I kind of like, but you do lose some of the view. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do with that. Now, I think, you know, because there's opportunity for balconies all around here, I think I'm going to do it on these two triangle parts too, but not all the way around. But because I like this point here, I'm going to make these a little shorter. And I think I'm just going to come around with these. Now, I'm not going to finish yet because I also want pillars coming out here. I don't think I'm going to put doors yet here. We don't have the heat and everything. I want to be able to just walk out onto here. So I've got some pillars here, and they'll snap there just fine because this is a corner of a foundation, and pillars snap that way, at least in S Plus. I'm starting to forget whether it works that way in vanilla or not. But here, they're not going to snap because there's nothing for them to snap to. The way that they snap to these triangle foundations is just in the middle, and I don't want that. So to help with that, I'm going to try just putting some thatched ceilings out here first. And I just tried the vanilla ones and they didn't work, so we're going to use these thatch ones and then see if I can use those to snap the pillars to the corner of them. Now these S Plus pillars, if you press G, corner snaps are enabled. But for some reason, it doesn't want to snap on these, even though it should snap to the corners of these ceilings. So I think I'm going to have to go at it a different way. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pick these up. And instead, let's go ahead and put down, let's try putting down a door like that. And then we'll put a ceiling on top of that. And let's see if it'll snap to that. So if I press G and get the corner snaps enabled, I saw it there, so that's positive. Let's try cycling with Q. Oh, it was there. I saw it. There it is. No, wrong way. I want that one to face forward. So let's pick it up again. You know, in alignment with these. But it definitely looked like it was possible. So we'll press G. Get the ceiling snaps. Cycle with Q. Or just move around. Oh. There's always some of this in every build video in ARK. There it is. That's what I wanted. And then let's just go ahead and bring it over like that. And I want to put another one in the middle because this is too wide of a gap otherwise. So let's see if I can pull this off again. Hit G to enable corner snaps. And there they are. So I got those on. And then I should be able to... No, I can't take those off. Maybe if I go one further down, I'll try that. So let's see. Let's get this back. Up there. Get the pillar. And I gotta press G, get that corner snap. Oop. Let's pull that back off. Try again. Put that there. Maybe if I put the ceilings out. Let's see if that holds it. Here, we'll just try on this one first. Probably what I need to do is have them go down. See if I can snap. Now it wants to snap to the ceiling, but not underneath this guy. What if I come out here? Will it let me do it? Like that. So that's embedded in the foundation. And then we'll go ahead and put these all the way across as well. And let me see, we need one more over here. Let's do this pillar first. We'll send it down too. And cycle around. No, it doesn't want to go there. Come on. There it is. And then we'll put this on. And then now let's trust that that did it. So if we take that off. No. All right, let me mess around and see if I can get those to stick somehow. Well, you know what I'm going to do just to make it easier on myself, and we'll see if I can live with this later. I'm just going to use those points right there, and that'll actually make it easier when I put the roof on. And so just to keep it symmetrical then, we're going to take those off too. And then we'll just put these in these spots, which actually closes this gap up a little bit. And hopefully that's going to be all right. And then I guess the middle of that would sort of be this one, which now doesn't want to play straight. What's your issue? Why it wants to do that, I have no idea. All right, let's come over here. That is so inconsistent. Oh, I get it now, I think. No. There's like only one corner of each foundation that it wants to snap on. And why? So these actually have an orientation? Okay. Alright, so I think we can safely take this one out. And then let me see if I can actually... Maybe it depends on which direction I was facing when I placed it. So now I got to try this. So I'll try it from this direction. I'm just showing you this so that you'll be able to figure it out when you do it. Otherwise you'll be like, what? It doesn't work. You know, assuming that some people may do what I'm doing. No, it's still picking that same corner. So let's try it again. Pick it up. And let's see. Can I cycle it around like that? It doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, I have no idea how to get these to cycle and why it's picking that particular corner. All right, so again, I am back to the drawing board. I mean, I could use this point here because of that, but kind of a weird angle. All right. You guys are probably sick of seeing me try this, so I'm going to figure it out and I'll be back. All right, so I've learned something here. What I did is I picked up all the ones that were facing the wrong direction, and then I'm going to start snapping from these ones that face the direction I want. And I found when I do that, let's come out to here. See, actually I want this point. I find when I do that, they now are snapping in the same orientation that these are. So that's how you do that, I guess. And that's actually not really in the middle. I guess neither one of these would be, but I feel better about that one. So let's do that. And put that back together. In fact, you know, when I picked these up, the ceilings that were stuck to these ones actually all fell down, so I lost those. So they weren't even really connected right there, which is just strange. But at least if we understand the strangeness, we'll be able to work with it. So none of these are snapping the way I want. So I'm going to pick all these triangles up and keep putting them down until they are snapping in an orientation that will do these well. And what all these issues mean is that we're going to have a part 1 and part 2 of this building video, which is fine. All right, I think I figured out how this works. So if you take a triangle foundation and you snap it off a square one, whichever direction it comes off of that square foundation is at the tip of that is the way that the pillar faces. So for instance, if I then took a foundation like this and snapped off this way, then see, it's going to go that way. So we have a rule now. We know how this works. So to get them to facing the way I want, I actually have to come, I think, all the way back to here to get these facing this way. And then hopefully this will work where I can snap off of this one, and hopefully that's going to line up, but it's not. So I got to figure out how to get it oriented right. But now they are going the direction I want. They're just not lined up correctly. So I'm going to think about this for a second. I think I know. So if I come out, let's see, with the triangle foundations like that. Now they're going to be facing the wrong way now because I came off of that one. But now I can put down a square foundation. Let's see if this works. And then we pick these up and then we snap them coming off of this one. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Cool. So now we put these off of that one. These should all be consistent, hopefully, with that one. That one might be weird. And we're going to come that way and that way and that way. And so we wanted one, skip 2, and it would be that guy. So we know that one's going to work. And then hopefully that one will work. That was quite a puzzle. Didn't even expect that to be that hard at all. I thought I was going to do this real quick. So let's just do a few more things real quick before we end this video. I want to at least get this first level started. And then next video, we'll go ahead and we'll build up some more. And we'll figure out the roof and any little extra stuff. I'll have some time to think about it. We can just go ahead now and throw these down. So we get this balcony here. And I'm going to be missing about 3 of these. So let's make those up real quick. We're losing our light. That's all right. Let's have to end in the dark. I love this feature here. You can just pull what you need. We adjusted the pull range of Structures Plus for this so that we wouldn't be pulling each other's stuff when we did this, because that was starting to be kind of a problem. So now I know when I do that, I'm only pulling from my things. And then I went ahead and made a bunch of these half walls. And then, so we don't need these anymore. Don't need those anymore. Actually, might want to put some later, but I can do that. And then we want some windows. We don't need that many. These can go back, hopefully. And we want some doors. Oop. And we'll get that far today. Let's see how that goes. Okay. So, and let's just gamma up to about 3, I think, so you guys can see what I'm doing here at the end. It's a little washed out. Let's be a little bit finicky and do like a 2.7. There we go. All right, so we got enough of these now, I think. Take that all the way across. And we'll just whip out the last bit of this. And so I made these half glass walls to be the railings. They kind of give this more structural integrity. I think they look less busy than using like a metal rail. You can turn an S Plus metal rail into a half metal wall, but then that would lose our visibility. Oh, and I can't put it out there because I can only go 2 out. So I guess this is a diving board. That's just how it's going to be. So that's where I'll launch with my parachutes. Which I do a lot of, or my Archaeopteryx, or my moth, all that stuff. So let's pick that up. Okay, so we got balconies with rails. I like that. I kind of wish I could put a balcony on the front one, but it's not happening. And then around here, we're just going to go ahead and put actual windows. These don't give us as much of a view as like glass walls would be. But there's a thing in architecture where if you give a view all the way around, it's actually not as impactful as if you have some places with more of a view than others, because you come along and you go, oh, you know, so trying to do too much of a view sometimes spoils it. At least that's the theory. Let's see how it goes. And then just come around here with these. And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to go up from there and build the wall around the back. But I think that's going to be enough for today. I think I'm going to have to wait for daytime to sign out. But I'll figure out what happens next. But I'll meet you in the morning and say goodbye. All right, the sun's coming up. It's about 6 in the morning, and there's enough light, I think, to show you. I did a little bit more. I went ahead and just put ceilings across the top of the pillars, and I'm really glad now that I did them this way instead of out on the edges. Not that it was even letting me, but this just made it much easier to continue the same pattern up along here that it has down here. So everything lines up. And then so far I've just put a row of windows recessed one back up there. I had to flip them around so that I got the wood framing on the inside here. And yeah, I just put a few more things up in the back, but I think I will wait until next episode in order to continue that and finish the roof off and figure out what else I'm going to put up there, and maybe put a few decorating touches. Not too much because I don't want to lower the frame rate that much, because we got a lot of competition here for stuff, and maybe some lighting, a little bit of lighting. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for watching until the very end of this episode and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.